have an exciting video today. It's been a long time since I've done YouTube. I feel like I've been recording. Yeah, now I live in the middle of LA. So anyways, I literally lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah, I've been filming a little bit over this year, 2025. I don't know the order of what I'm gonna put all these videos out, but I'm still committed to editing and putting them out on YouTube. I'll get that out of the way. But today's video is a fun one. In the past couple of months, I started doing depop again, and I just feel like a lot has changed in the vintage world over the past 5 years of me doing this full time. So today I'm excited to introduce you guys to Fleek. I'm going to show you the box and then I'll talk about it as I go through it. But look at Charlie, my kitty cats, my assistants. This is Hen. So they're supervising the YouTube video. Also, maybe I'll do an apartment tour at some point, but started getting it together. It's only been a few months in the new space. Here we are. I got this giant box of vintage. I honestly didn't know exactly what to expect, but here, let me put you down. So yesterday, this huge box came in from Fleek. So they are a UK-based app that connects vintage businesses like me with other wholesale suppliers. In LA specifically, vintage is super saturated. A lot of stuff is produced out of LA, so naturally there's just more opportunity for people to get into vintage that live out here. And there's also like a ton of flea markets. The community is really strong, and that's why I love being out here. But sourcing at bins, at wholesale markets, at vintage suppliers out here has gotten a lot harder over the years just because there's so many people that do it. So I'm really excited that Fleek gave me the opportunity to try out their wholesale situation. Today I'm just gonna do a little unboxing of what I got and what I sourced, and I'm thinking about trying out different options with Fleek. But I guess long story short, you hop on a video call and they show you pieces and you kind of just go through and say yes and no. For me it was just a new experience because I'm so used to doing all the sourcing myself, like in person, and being able to feel everything, and I don't know, it's like a whole different experience when it's all visual. So it was a challenge, but I was pleasantly surprised with this haul. I got 70 pieces and I think I spent around like $940 including the customs fee. So I think it came out to around $14 a piece ish, give or take. That sounds like a lot, but once you see the pieces I think you guys will understand. It's nice because I only spent about an hour on the video call. Was able to source 70 premium pieces that are all in pretty good condition. There's only a couple of pieces I need to fix, and most of them I just needed to like wash and then steam. But other than that, this haul is really great. It's a lot of Euro Y2K pieces, so if you guys are into that specifically, this is a really exciting haul. I went and picked through the vintage tops. I wanted more like long sleeve blouses. I have been upcycling ties for a long time, so I kind of wanted to pick the pieces I would want to put together to style my ties. So when people come to my booth at the flea market, they could really see the vision. I feel like my aesthetic overall is maximalism or interesting silhouettes and color combinations. I like kind of unexpected things. Yeah, I guess. Before I yap too much, just wanted to share a little bit about that. Fleek did give me a credit to shop, so I didn't completely spend the full $940 on this bundle. Just wanted to be transparent, but I'm really grateful that they gave me this opportunity and that I get to share this with other vintage resellers, because this was like a huge time saver for me because I'm looking to focus more on my upcycle designs and just being able to source online from quality suppliers. When I go to a vintage warehouse, usually that takes me about a whole day to go through the warehouse, pick everything, go over it with them with pricing. And then with Fleek, it's a lot easier. I just go through the app, I pick the bundles that I'm like interested in, the size range I'm looking for, and then they pull everything together, and then you hop on a call for about an hour. I guess it could be longer, but I feel like it just depends like how much or how little you're looking to get. For me, it was just nice to find something that was efficient. The benefit of going to the bins or the thrift store stores or whatever is that you spend a little bit less, but in terms of like the time you put in, I don't know. Everybody has a different system that works for them, and I think this system works for me, and I'm really hoping that Fleek will continue to want to work with me because I really love all these pieces. We're still figuring out this whole YouTube situation at the new place, so bear with me. We're gonna figure it out, so we'll see. And I'm still unpacking everything. We're gonna start out with doing tops. So basically I went through and picked through tops and skirts because to me that is what I love wearing for fall. Eventually style the ties and do little outfit contents on my Instagram, so make sure to follow me on Instagram. And then most of this stuff will be available on my Depop. By the time you're watching this, all of this should be on my Depop unless I've already sold it at markets, but I feel like a good amount of this should be on my Depop. So yeah, that was a long intro. Oh wait, if you guys are interested in doing a wholesale bundle through Fleek, I do have a code. I will put it I'll put it in my bio so you guys could check it out. I highly recommend Fleek now that I've tried it and saw all these amazing pieces. I genuinely highly recommend it, especially if you are someone that has a very curated selection of vintage, because I think that has been the struggle for me. It's obviously a lot harder to find that stuff for a reasonable price, and I think Fleek helps bridge the gap of the wholesaler to the businesses, especially if you're in the Y2K 90s world. Fleek is a great online supplier. I recommend checking it out. I'll put all the information in the description box below and also try to put it on the screen so you guys can get the details on it. But yeah, I'm gonna go through the haul and make sure to drop any questions that you have in the comments below. I'll make sure to answer them and potentially do another video like this. Maybe I'll go more through the process of the video call and what that whole situation is like from start to finish. All right, we will get to the haul now. Okay, bear with me. We're trying to figure out our angles. Also, this box was busting. I'll start off with the tops, and there is gonna be some pieces that I'm gonna keep, but most of this will be available on my Depop. I'll put it up over here so you guys can go check it out. Also just wanted to show you, maybe you'll get some inspiration for your own personal wardrobe. I'm gonna start out with this top. It's a really cute micro mesh top with the pink on the inside, so I think it's cool for that like grungy fall vibe. Nice elevated basic. This top is really interesting because it is a basic piece, but then the crisscross asymmetrical and patchwork detailing on it makes it a little bit more unique. And I think this will be cool layered or even belted, and like the buttons. Also, a lot of this stuff in this particular order that I did was a lot of European Y2K brands, which I think is really cool. I've been really into button downs, you know, like unbuttoning this, and it has like a little bell sleeve with a little slit on the edge, which I think is nice. Although I think it does maybe get a little bit annoying when you're like eating. Other than that, another little elevated basic. And then I don't know what it is, but I love a good pinstripe. And then the same thing with the sleeve where the cuffs are like a little flare with a little slit, which I think is really cute. And then this kind of reminds me of like Limited 2, growing up with kind of like that sporty everyday wear. I like that it's like a one shoulder. It can be worn casually. You could also dress it up. And I also think red, like a dark red, is really nice in the fall. So love her. I love a micro mesh, especially for layering. This can be worn as is, but I love the like, I guess it's like leaves, but I feel like you can't really tell. It kind of looks more like a tie-dyed effect. And then it has black lace cross. It could be worn multiple ways just by itself or as a layering piece under other tops. I like having versatility in pieces. And then here's another micro mesh. This is more of like a 3/4 sleeve. Okay, this one isn't really fall, but I love the color green, especially lime green. I like that this is kind of like an open front with just this tie right here, and it has the same bell sleeve with the slit. This top is a combo of my love for micro mesh and button-ups, but it's lace, so it has that sheer effect. So if you wear something underneath, you can match it to your pants or whatever accessories you're doing, and I feel like that's like a nice way to highlight everything. thing. The little flower detail. Love her. She's cute. This is really unique. I don't really wear hot pink like that, but I just think this goes with my shop and my aesthetic as like the, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like the layering aspect of it. I really like this ruched button down look in the middle, and then they have this cardigan sewn on, so it's kind of like a sweater top blouse, but this is just super flattering. When tops or skirts have ruching on it, it just really accentuates the body. This would be cute with a micro skirt or a maxi skirt. All right, so we are in the middle of October. People are just into, you know, getting more goth, more grungy, and I just love this layered micro mesh piece with like the skeleton print on it. The ruffled or the lettuce edge, the neckline on this is really cute. Okay, I really like this one. I feel like this is me when I'm in my dark romantic era, but I love ruffles. I love lace. I would honestly keep this, but it's like a little bit too big. Yeah, I just love this silhouette, and it's lightweight. You could still put a jacket on over, and you can have the sleeves peeking out, which is cute. And then here is a purple lace top. Yeah, I need to figure out how to hold this. I love the like snap enclosure, or like the hook and eye enclosure. I actually have a lot of that in my sewing supplies, inspiring me on how I can use some of the materials I source for my upcycling projects. This one is so cute. It's similar to the last one, but a little bit more bohemian. It has like this flare sleeve. Very delicate, but very cute. I feel like this would be so cute with a bra underneath. Just like go all black look. That's probably how I would do it. Camera died. So we're gonna resume. We have a lot of pieces to get through, and I just want to make this interesting. Leave comments down below if you guys have any feedback, because I feel really rusty coming back to YouTube. Here is, it's like a French designer, kind of reminds me of Free People. I love the crop look. I have a really long torso, so I kind of like this silhouette. And it's ruched, so it's super form-fitting. This is a medium. It could also fit me. Then it has a little back detail. Another like micro mesh top. This one's that graphic, late Y2K vibe. I really love red, black, and gray for fall. This is my like edgy punk goth vibe that I like to go for. Simple. Showed you this one. Love this. This is like a shirred top, and I like the little sheer fabric pieces on it. I really love texture. Texture in fall is really fun, because I feel like when it's hot, you don't really want to deal with all this, but in the colder months, something like this is really fun. Yeah, you could wear a mesh sleeve underneath. You could wear like this with a little skirt and boots. God, this visual really takes me back to like my middle school era. I used to think these were like cringy once I grew out of it, but now I'm kind of into them again. Like all the different patterns and color. You can really have fun with the styling when things have a lot of color, because you know there's bound to be something you can match this to. Long sleeves like this just really remind me of growing up in the 2000s. This is kind of like the vibe I would go for, like the little graphic shirt and then the baggy pant. That was me growing up as a kid. This one, the elastic is doing some weird thing, and some of the beading is coming off. I love the idea of this, so I think I'm gonna try to see what I can do to repair it before I list it. Otherwise, I'll just keep it for myself as like a reference piece for my upcycle designs. Vintage is honestly a big inspo for me when it comes to design. There's just a lot of interesting silhouettes, patterns, construction. There's so much more detail that went into pieces that were created. I mean, I guess like 2000s and back, but maybe that's just because it's my childhood. This one needs a new button. Thankfully, I have a bunch of buttons, so I might try to just take all the buttons off and replace it. But I love a little elevated blazer. This kind of reminds me of like Free People, or something that's kind of more boho grunge take on like the Victorian era. I like the silhouette with like kind of like a fit and flare, but the colorway is giving boho grunge 2000s. I like all the texture and the collar, and the back has a little green velvet tie. This is really cool. This is something that makes me remember why I love the 2000s. That layered look. I always layered tank tops, or this is a unique take on layering like a tank top underneath the shirt. For me it was like the two straps, but I like the asymmetrical neckline and this detail, and I like that it says never mind. It's very like sassy, sporty tomboy girl. Okay, I love this. It's like a little bit big for me and I need to steam it, but if it doesn't sell I may or may not keep it. I'm just gonna see if it sells over the season, but I love this like windbreaker material down the middle, the detailing on the collar and the lapels. This is another elevated basic with like a little subversive vibe. And then this top I'm probably going to keep, trying to not keep too much out of this haul, but it's a Morgan de Toi, one of my favorite Y2K brands. But I feel like this is just, she's perfect. I mean, I guess I have to try it on to make sure it fits me right, but I think it will. I love that it's just a simple button down with like this corset look. All right, most of this haul is skirts, so I might rapid fire through some of these because I did get a lot of denim mini skirts, and for the ones that don't sell, I'm gonna rework them for festival season. Finding the perfect denim mini skirt is hard, so because I live in SoCal, Southern California, that's something that always sells no matter what season it is. So yeah, we're gonna go on to the skirts. This will be the bulk of the haul because skirts are something that I personally have a hard time sourcing, and as women we all have different like waist and hip ratios, so yeah, finding the perfect fit is tough. But we'll start off with this little black ruffled mini skirt. I love the little fabric flower detail on it. This is super cute. This was in my size. I would keep it because I feel like it's a great elevated basic, and I love a good layered ruffle situation. This is so cute. I actually have in my sewing kit literal exact fur trim, so it's giving me inspiration on how I can do some of my own upcycled pieces. Like just everything about it, the little patchwork on the pockets, around the waistband, the little fur, the ruffle there, this just has so much going on, and this is my personal aesthetic when it comes to clothing. Like I just love a good statement piece that has a lot going on. It goes hand in hand with my personal design aesthetic. Got your classic denim mini. I like the little lace printed detail with the rhinestones on the pocket. This is very simple, but a good elevated basic. Another residual piece. I think this one is an XL. The tag was cut off. I know because it says all the hardware on it says residual on it, but I feel like bubble skirts are super in right now, and this one's extra cool because of all the patchworking detail. This it's like a made in Italy. Like there's honestly a ton, like a lot of these pieces are made in Italy. This is a kid's piece, so this is extra tiny. Like I feel like this will have to suck it in for this one. I love the little comic print, and it's velvet, so I feel like this is perfect for fall and winter. So cute. We got a little bit longer. It's like right above the knee denim mini. The brown studs, all the Y2K washes. It gives that fade where like your butt slash legs would be in the pants, so nothing too crazy. This one is something I'd probably just keep for upcycling, but I might bring it out to the markets. So if you don't see some things on Depop, that might be why. This one's cool because if you can look really closely, there's like the rainbow stitching. Personally, I feel like I'm more into the short ones, but I feel like not everybody likes to wear short skirts, so I tried to just get a variety of the micro, above the knee, midi, and maxi. Girls love skirts. Also, guys love skirts. This reminds me of my childhood. I loved this kind of a look where it's like it fits your waist, but then it flares out. I know I'm holding them really high. I just like the shape of these. And it has a cool cargo pocket. Love her. Might keep her. I know this is a longer skirt, but I feel like this is something I would be into with like a knee-high boot. So cute. Love the plaid. Love the little yarn embroidery detailing on it. And I also love this. It's simple, little micro mini plaid with the frayed edges. But then what I like about it is this detail of having the little lace slip underneath. This is also something like my younger self would have worn. And above the knee, I love this color green, this light green. To me, this is a neutral color. I wear a lot of earth tone stuff, and I love the little little strappy string details on it. This is interesting because I feel like I've seen, at least at the flea markets out here, this kind of a silhouette. This is more for people that have a bigger badonkadonk but want something short and that isn't gonna reveal it yourself. So I think that's kind of why this skirt is this kind of a shape. Also reminds me of something that my younger self would have worn. I remember being obsessed with embroidery detail, especially flower ones. Yep, not much else to say. This one reminds me of Gerbaud, and Gerbaud is probably one of my favorite vintage brands. They make a lot of things in this silhouette, and people are really into the sailor vibe right now, and I feel like this is giving sailor vibe. Cute, cute. And it has a little like polka dot detailing on it. Another little elevated basic, and it has like this little underlayer. It just gives it more dimension, more little something, and then little flower details on the front. I personally am not into sequins. I would probably remove them for myself, but I'm just gonna see what happens when I list it online and take it out to the markets, and if I get stuck with it, I will probably keep it for myself and just remove all the sequins. But I love a little ruffle skirt. I love a little bow detail, and this would probably fit me. This reminds me of like a 60s mod vibe, but like Y2K. I think it's like a wool blend, so I feel like this is perfect for fall and winter. I would style this with tights. Kind of reminds me of that kind of vibe where it's like tights, Mary Janes. That's as far as my brain has got, but I'm into this. Yeah, I guess a lot of skirts I got are this silhouette where it's like fitted in the waist and it flares out. This one is also cool if you wanted to layer a longer skirt underneath. The waistband has nice little patchwork detailing on it. Okay, so we got the fit and flare with the cargo pockets, right? But then the back has this rib detailing. And I feel like, you know, for the girlies that don't like to feel like suffocated by denim, this is nice because it's just more comfortable. This is the back, and this is the front. I was worried that it was like a pregnancy thing, and then when I was trying it on, I was like, oh, I feel like they just made this for comfort, which honestly, I could kind of get behind this. I feel like it's more comfy and cozy. It's a heavy denim. Love the 3D, or not the 3D, whoa, I guess it's like a little hanging pocket. It's kind of funny. This also kind of reminds me of Gerbaud. It has like, it's like a black pinstripe little thing, little detail, little detail, and then the zipper front, and it's really lightweight. This is also something you could wear in the warmer months still. And then it has this drawstring detail on the bottom, so you could play with that when it comes to styling, but it's like a midi length vibe. So I love this, but not in my size. Okay, this also reminds me of Gerbaud. It's the, sorry, I'm like, my brain is short-circuiting right now. I can't tell if it's supposed to be like this. No, it's definitely like this. Okay. It looks like it's a wrap skirt, but it's constructed this way. And then I like the contrast stitch detailing. Gerbaud did a lot of that, and I don't know how I would explain that, but like the ruche pleated detailing with the also the contrast stitch detailing. Like I feel like those are design things that Gerbaud also does in their work. Middies. I don't know why. I feel like middies are not the most flattering on me, but I feel like if I wear them, it has to be with a crop top and then like a boot, like a tall, like knee-high boot. I'm short and have short legs, so middies kind of cut me off in a weird way. But if I wear a crop top, I feel like that helps to balance out the silhouette. But I just love the cargo pockets and how it flares out at the bottom. I guess that is like the theme of the skirts I picked out. They have the little flared out bottom action and cargo pocket details. This pair is interesting because it has like the cell phone pocket detail, that like Y2K tech wear, utility wear vibe. Also reminds me of like Limited 2 in a way. I've been listening to the new Pink Pantheress Deluxe album, and I feel like this, even though it's not necessarily plaid, I feel like she's wearing a lot of plaid, but this kind of reminds me of something that she would wear. This colorway and purple, brown, and black. It has like this bubble hem skirt at the bottom. This is very interesting. Y2K subversive vibes. I don't know, I wish this was in my size because I feel like I would like this in my personal wardrobe and I would style it in so many different ways, but someone else can fulfill the fantasy for me. This one, I don't know. I kind of missed the mark. I don't think I should have picked this one up, but I think what drew me to it was the mesh layering. I feel like this is a little too Coachella 2010s in a bad way kind of vibe for me. All right, it's the next day. My camera kept dying yesterday, and then I had to go to a concert for Lily Massey, who's dating JD Bird, and they've just been huge supporters of a lot of my upcycle designs, so I wanted to go and support Lily at her first headline show in LA. So yeah, that was really nice because I don't really go out that much, and thankful that my sister came with me because I feel like it's hard for me to go out and be social. But anyways, I'm gonna get to the second half of this haul. Hopefully camera doesn't die. Yeah, a little intermission. All right, I just like the silhouette of this skirt. It's like a midi skirt and it has pockets, which is really nice. This is the silhouette that I like. Something that's kind of slim around the waist and then flares out. That seems to be the trend for skirts right now that I like. And then this one is really cool, especially for winter, fall winter. It's like a denim maxi, and then it has this faux fur edge, and then it has this slit in the back because I realized with maxi skirts you really need it to flare out or a slit so you can walk in it. And then here's a vintage Phoebe denim maxi skirt, mermaid silhouette, your classic 2000s Bratz doll vibe. It's meant to sit low-waisted, and then it has the nice like grain detail on it. Very cute. I think it's like a wool blend because it's like a thicker material. I'm trying to figure out, I think this is the way it goes. Yeah, I like the color blocking on this one. I feel like this would be really cute for like New York or the UK, just somewhere that's a little bit colder, or I guess nighttime in LA you'd get more wear out of it in like a colder place just because it is that warmer material. Then it has the nice contrast stitch detailing. Love her. And we got really into like tiered ruffles. That is something that I've always been into. Something that makes it a little bit more interesting. I like things that have movement, printing on it. Same with this, the ruffled edge. If you upcycle, I save a lot of extra fabric, and then you can just do a basting stitch to create your own ruffles. So I think this is something that I'm gonna recreate in different ways. But this one has like micro mesh ruffles on it, which is really nice. I really wish this fit me because I love this patchwork maxi skirt. I love the different two-tone corduroy and then the distressed details on it. Little back, and it has the slit as well. Yeah, I think this is really cute. And then this is like an elevated like office siren little vibe. Something that gives corporate baddie, but you could also wear it going out. It has this little slit front detail, this crisscross patchworks detail. It's also on the back pocket. You could dress this up or down if you want like a basic black skirt, but I like the tiered edges. And then it has this really pretty flower detail with like the ribbons. Just something to make it a little bit more interesting than just a plain black skirt. And it's lightweight and stretchy. This is really comfy, but looks super elevated. This one I may keep because I love the brown and orange. It's interesting, especially for fall. And then the little ruche detailing on the side. Yeah, it's like this nice micro mesh. And I like the orange contrast stitching to go with the patches on it. Nothing on the back, but it still has that like contrast stitch detailing. And I do have a serger, so I definitely want to try recreating something like this. It reminds me, I don't know if anyone knows the brand Mandalay, but I feel like in LA there was like the whole store went out of business and everybody was selling them, but then this skirt kind of reminds me of that. It's like this green satin, has like lace and beaded detailing on it, but I just feel like this is so pretty, especially going into like fall. If anyone has like an event or something. Here's another layered cargo skirt, but I feel like what's cool about this one is the pockets and the little peace sign zippers. And it's interesting because it's kind of like fanny pack vibes, but I also just like it because it's something like a place you could put your hands in. Then it has this tiered like double layer situation going on. And also it looks like you can take the pockets off if you don't want the pockets. Here's another cute little elevated basic for fall. I love the patchwork of the plaid. I feel like this is something like Pink Pantheress would wear. But yeah, I love, and the little frayed edges. We got another light wash. I think this is cute with the asymmetrical hem. I like the grommet detailing on the waist and the little floral print with this beaded detailing on it. I'm guessing it's like glued on, but it's such an interesting, or it's not beaded, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of like a different type of rhinestone. I've washed it and they stayed intact, so I guess I'm just not sure the best way to maintain it, but I did wash it normally and they all stayed on, so just FYI. I just love like the little details that are on here. I like the silhouette. It has pockets and the ruffles, there's like a little slit. I feel like there's just like a lot of dimension going on with this one. And then it has like this lace-up side detail. Just a little boho fairy core situation. I like the floral print, so I feel like there's like a lot of different colors you can match your top with and just have fun with wearing maybe like an orange or a red top and then accessorizing with orange and red. The Euro's got the double layered skirts down. It's like a color block patchwork situation. There's pockets, the little ruffle bottom. The back is kind of plain, but yeah, just another great elevated basic. Really into the layered skirts. Then last but not least, it's this leather skirt. This is amazing. I would honestly keep this in my size. It has this ruche side tie detail so you can like adjust it, but she's gorgeous. This would be so cute for fall. It's super heavy, the little mermaid silhouette. I love this. And yeah, that is the little Holly haul. I hope this video was somewhat interesting. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done a haul on YouTube, and I really do want to get back into YouTube and just content creation in general. I needed to take a break for a while. I wanted to kind of focus on sewing, creating, and running my business without thinking about how I need to package it for the world, if that makes sense. But I feel like now I've moved into a new space. I am starting a new chapter in my life, and I feel like I don't know, I'm just like more excited about everything I'm working on again. So I feel like I'm more ready to talk about it and share it with everyone on the internet. If you're interested in any of these pieces, most of them will be available on my Depop. If you are a vintage reseller, make sure to check out Fleek. I highly recommend it. It's a really good concept, cool idea, and if you want to save some money, I have a referral code. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll also put it down in the description box. So let me help you help me, because I think it's like $35 off for you guys with your order, and then I think I also get credit for everyone that uses my link. So yeah, that would really help me out, because I honestly would love to keep using Fleek. It is a great option for premium wholesale vintage. Almost all of them were in perfect condition. Everything was clean. I think there's only a couple that I needed to wash and get the stains out, and then a few pieces where I had to fix buttons, but other than that, everything was in great condition. So if you guys have any other questions about running your Depop shop, what it's like doing vintage flea markets in LA, or sewing, let me know in the comments, because I want to get back on YouTube, but I also want to create content that you guys are interested in seeing. Yeah, so now that I've done all that, I'm gonna be listing it on Depop, and then I have 2 markets this weekend. I'm gonna be at Thick Thrift LA and Silver Lake, which are 2 markets that I'm usually regularly at. Especially now that I'm in LA, doing these things are a lot closer. I used to kind of live near Long Beach. I'm closer to everywhere that I do pop-ups at. I think my life is starting to get a little bit easier, and I have more time to do other things now. So yeah, that is that. Make sure to check me out on Instagram and TikTok. I am also on there, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.